Well, Mark, it looks like we're back in the kitchen, and I really don't know what you're doing yet. I've got an idea. It might have some kind of a Mexican flavor. But
chili powder and cumin, yeah.
yeah, I've seen that in cilantro and chilies and tomatoes and garlic. What are you doing?
White bean chili.
White bean chili?
I do this at some of my cooking shows, and I make big pots, enough to feed 200 people, and everybody's like, "Oh, where's the recipe?" And I'm like, "Oh, just throw in a little bit of this, throw a little bit of that." And so finally, I said, "I got to get in the test kitchen, create a white bean chili that is perfect." And
good.
It's just fabulous. People love it. It's one of the best.
Northern people do the white bean chili. Southern people don't do white bean chili. And they don't even use hardly any beans in theirs. It's like meat and seasoning. So I made this from, not your recipe, my recipe for my husband. He didn't like it.
Really?
He didn't like it. He said chili shouldn't have white beans in it. So I couldn't get it.
Like
I love it.
This is like a hybrid. Okay. Because most white bean chili does not have tomatoes in it.
Oh,
and most northern chilies have tomatoes in it. Okay. With your standard Mexican chili or your northern chili, they have tomatoes in it. They don't, it's all tomatoes. So this is right in between. I've got Melody right now doing a water saute on 2 cups. I got 2 cups of onions and 2 cups of peppers in there.
Right, now I'm out of water, so I need just a little splash.
You love it, huh?
I need yeah, that's about like Mark.
It's not your camera, it's not your TV set turning it sideways. This is the actual picture.
And for those of you who are listening out there, Mark's got a water pitcher here that's as crooked as a dog's hind leg.
And
he thinks it's so funny. He said, this is me. And I'm like, yes, it is you.
And I'm going to hit that with some garlic too.
So what we've got here, sauteing in water, are red bell peppers diced and
couple cups of
onions, and oh man, was that enough garlic?
4 cloves of garlic.
4 cloves of garlic. Yeah. Awesome, awesome. So we diced that up, minced it. So now what?
And
now
you're doing the water saute on that. Is that other burner on? I think so. Yeah, we've got some water. I've got 1 gallon of water, exactly 1 gallon of water. And we're going to add to that 2 cups of white beans.
No, 2 pounds.
2 pounds. I'm sorry. You're right. 2 pounds. 2
I remember that. I remember 2 pounds being
2 pounds of white beans, because you get the 1 pound bags.
Right.
And you just take 2 of those. So my recipes, you know how I do that. I just make it so simple.
Well, I do have a question for you, Mark. Because it's 1 bean, maybe I'm single, or there's 2 or 3 only in my family, and this recipe would be huge for me. Why would I make this much?
Freeze it.
Exactly.
This is a perfect freezing.
So they cook once and have 3 meals.
4 or 5 if they're...
At least. Yeah. Do you want me to put that in the
Yeah,
water?
so you've got 2 pounds of the white beans. I actually use the regular white beans. Sometimes I'm using the Great Northerns.
Or the navy beans.
Yeah, so it just depends what I can get at the time, but I'm just using a regular white bean, so that works pretty good. Now, we're going to add these peppers and onions in there, and then I've got some spices that need to go in there too.
All right.
So we've got a 1/4 cup of chili powder.
Do you want it in here?
And 1/8 cup of cumin.
In here?
Well, you can throw it right in the stock pot if you want.
Okay, let's do that.
Because we're just getting ready to do the simmer on this for quite some time.
Okay.
Okay. I did do a couple teaspoons, 1 tablespoon of dried oregano.
Ooh, nice.
So just because that just gives it a little nice flavor. And then 1.5 tablespoons of salt.
Okay, that's not really a lot for that big of a
No, not at all. So, and then if we add our peppers and onions to it, then that pot is good to go.
You want me to put it in there then?
Sure. Okay. This is an easy recipe.
This is almost dump pour.
People think that healthy cooking has to be complicated. And they think cooking itself is so hard. I better just go grab a can.
Or costly. Some people say, well, it's too expensive. You know what? That is the biggest lie that I've ever heard, because honestly, you can't eat any cheaper.
Especially if you're eating the healthy carbs like you're supposed to.
Exactly.
All these people are scared to death of eating carbs. Don't eat carbs, don't eat carbs. We need to eat more carbs, but they've got to be the whole carbs.
Complex.
Eat the beans, right, instead of the simple carbs like the packaged goods. Eat the beans, eat the rice, eat the quinoa, whole grains, whole, food, and you'll be a lot better off. So, okay, that's it.
Okay, so that's the whole recipe.
That is going to simmer for about an hour.
Okay, okay.
Then I'm going to add tomatoes and green chilies.
Now the tomatoes were out of a can, and the chilies, green chilies, were out of a can. So this is something they can pick up at the store.
Technically, it would be 2 14-ounce cans of tomatoes.
2 14-ounce can of tomatoes,
Right.
and 1 can of the green chilies.
Depends what size green chilies you have. Now, what I used here, let me see what my recipe says here real quick. I got my cheat sheet right here. I have 2 cups of green chilies.
Okay. Oh,
So-
yeah, that's my kind of food. I like heat. I really do.
Your
I like it
secret
spicy.
ingredients to any white bean chili
Is the green pepper.
is your green chilies and your
Cilantro.
cilantro. But you cannot put the cilantro in until
Till
you
the
serve
last.
it.
Okay. Okay.
So in an hour of simmering, then we're going to put the tomatoes and the green chilies in it.
Okay.
And right before we serve it, I'll dice up this and put that in there. Now, another secret ingredient we're going to do is the Butler soy curls.
Okay.
And I'll put this in with the tomatoes. Now, this is just an 8-ounce package of Butler soy curls, but I don't want those big chunks.
I was going to say, when I do mine, sometimes I rehydrate mine and chop them up. So what you're going to do is you're going to just squish them up
In the bag.
in the bag and get a smaller version. Okay.
Yep, that's all you got to do. And instead of rehydrating them and having to cut them, this is,
Do you ever just pound yours?
yeah, I just like that
Pounded
fun.
them down. Yeah. This
You
is
can
a
let
guy
the kids
thing.
do this part.
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll go in later. So we'll let that simmer. We'll add this
Now,
to
this
it.
for those who are not watching, but this is 1.5 pounds, so this is an 8 ounce. This is an 8 ounce. When hydrated, it's 1.5 pounds. So this is an 8 ounce bag of Butler soy curls, which I love Butler. You know Butler
Yeah.
is the best out there. This is a non-GMO, non-defatted product.
Yeah,
This is
the whole bean.
100% bean.
The whole bean.
Absolutely.
So
Okay.
let's get it simmering, and then we'll come back and show
back.
you the finished product.
Sure.
Wow, what you're looking at?
Is it soup yet?
Is it soup yet? It is white bean
I
chili.
don't know how that's going to taste, Mark.
Well,
but it smells good enough to
I'm
eat.
missing something.
You are.
I need my cilantro.
Where is this cilantro?
Mm.
Where is Mark? Where is Mark?
You see, we have a staging area over here that we've got tables full of what we're doing for every segment, and
Mark,
That
that
was just
really looks good.
here. In fact, I forgot to cut it too.
Can I put
It's
that
just
in
been
that
one
bowl?
of those days.
It has been.
Yeah.
We want everybody to know we have days too.
Oh yeah, it's been challenging remodeling and building these new studio sets, and what a more perfect day for some white bean chili. Okay, so you can put a little cilantro on the top,
Oh my goodness.
and I actually do a lot of cilantro.
I like cilantro. You know, cilantro is one of those things you either like or you don't. And I've heard some people say, I hate
Yeah.
cilantro. I'm like, how can that be? They say it tastes like dish soap. They all said the same thing.
Yeah,
so
I
there's
don't know.
something in their taste buds that's,
I don't know what it is, but
oh.
this, now we put the cilantro in last. I'm not even going to put the cilantro in here because I'm going to jar this up and put it in freezers.
Serve
and
it.
it does you really no good to put this in there, freeze it and reheat it. You're not even going to taste the cilantro.
Okay,
It just loses
okay.
its flavor in cooking so fast. But if you can get it in there right before you serve it, that's where you get it. And between the white bean, the green chilies, and you can see the little tomato in there too.
Ooh, I see the Butler soy curl.
And you'll notice the little red flakes in here. That's from the tomato. You've got the tomato in there. And it's not a lot of tomato, just enough to give it some color, just enough to give it a little personality. Most people don't put the tomato in there. You'll really never notice that it's there, but it gives it a visual appeal.
I think it's missing one key element.
Your spoon.
Mark, this is really good.
Now, a half hour ago, I did put the tomatoes and the green chili in it. And it does take a lot of green chili. If you don't put enough green chili in there, it doesn't get the flavor.
So if I was cooking this recipe at home And I said, it tastes good, but it just needs a little something else. I probably need to add more chilies to it.
Right, and the chilies is your ticket to having a great
there's some
white bean
people
chili.
love bland flavors. My palate's.
Yeah. And you got to understand, there's different chilies out there because you could take the same mild chilies and get it from 3 different companies, and it will have 3 different flavors.
Oh yeah.
So you really got to just play it by ear. And most cooking in the kitchen is that way.
This is so delicious, so fresh. And for me, whenever I would make this, and I will be making it, trust me, it's a very good recipe, Mark. This is great. I'd put fresh lemon juice right on the top of mine before I ate it. You know how I am with lemon.
And you can use less salt that way.
Yes.
And I did put the Butler soy curls in there. I did crush them up and put those in too. So, but that easy.
Wow.
White bean chili, it's going to be great for those chilly evenings and cold winter days.
I eat chili in the summertime, though.
I know. And actually, technically, in the summertime, if you make it spicier,
helps.
it actually is like a air conditioner in your body. That's why the people in the South towards the equator eat spicier foods, because it makes them feel cooler.
Oh,
It
well, I
makes
know
them
we do in
sweat,
Texas.
It makes them sweat, so your body's air conditioner is working better and you feel cooler.
Well, that's yours.
And that's yours.
This is mine.
Take it home. Yeah, you can take this one to the bank. Money back guarantee. If you're not completely satisfied with this recipe, bring it back for a full refund.
Oh, yeah. This is really a keeper. This is one you're going to keep. Yep. And the good thing about it, no matter how much you make in volume, you can freeze this, pull it out, be gone all day long, come back, just warm it up, and you've got a meal, a hearty meal. Mark, there is nothing in here that you would need more. This is a full, balanced meal.
Sure.
Just in itself right there.
Yep.
It's great. Wow. All
We're
right.
done.
Well, we are done. We'll see you next time in the kitchen. Yeah.